you guys are the voice of metal just as much as I am, or anybody else in between. Because without everybody involved in the metal scene, the metal family, things would be kind of boring. You know what I mean? And I think everybody has a voice of what they like, what they hate, and all that. When it comes to their musical taste, when it comes to certain songs, and who helps with that, like the people in the venue and all that. So next time you're out at a concert, please make sure that you do thank those people for that, because I think without those people, we wouldn't have the great shows we have right now. Speaking of shows, well, I don't know about shows, but it was kind of interesting. I was out and about and I was shopping, and or overheard some music playing in the background someplace where I was at, and I heard a song I hadn't heard for a very long time, and it brought back a flood of memories for me. When I was young, I got to see my grandmother in Missouri with my cousins, Jeff and I forgot now what we called him, Bud. No, not Bud. I don't remember, but anyway, Tanya and Kendra. Anyway, I'll figure it out later on. But anyway, they had a boombox back in the day, with a cassette player and all that stuff, playing music in the back of a camper trailer that we went to Missouri as a family to see her, and spent a couple of days out there while my mom and my dad were back home. Because I don't know what it was. I think we were just during the summertime. But anyway, it brought back those memories, and I was thinking of some ideas for playlists and things like that. So I thought, why not do that song, the one that I heard, and what it is one that I had for that, and it was really popular because of the fact that it's the coolness of the cover and the way the song is, and just the way the music sounded. It sounded really cool to me back in the day, and it's not quite metalish, but it kind of probably spawned some people to think in that direction, which is Mr. Roboto from Styx. And I don't know that many other songs, I will admit. And it'd be kind of cool to see them in concert, just like some of the other bands I watched. And because of that, let me do something real quick. Like before I do, I don't want to exclude somebody from chat. I thought, why not do a playlist based off of that song, or that song from Styx? Because it has a really cool, interesting cover. I like the artwork. I mean, the artwork. It's a mask that he wears in it, and it's supposed to be. I'll tell you a little bit about it when I do the list here, which I'll start right now. But before I begin, don't forget, if you are a small metal band and you would like to be maybe interviewed on here, I would love to have you on here, especially a small band, because one, it helps me out, it helps you guys out, and I'm sure that people that watch my channel, the 550, it was 50, but I think we went to 49, but I'm sure there'll be somebody that will subscribe to make it to 550, which is great, or more, to have people get to know you, and hopefully grow the channel, and I can help more people out. So without further ado, we're going to start our Mr. Roboto playlist for you guys. I think it'd be really great to see what kind of comes up on this. Number 20 is Mr. Roboto from Styx. It's the original 1983 Paranoid blueprint that started it all. It details a human protagonist hiding his true identity inside a mechanized prison guard shell to escape the totalitarianism anti-rock regimen, because they don't want to have the rock and roll theme. So that makes sense. I mean, I kind of know some of the words to the song, but I wasn't sure exactly what it meant. I kind of did. I had a vague understanding of it. So it's one of those things. Number 19 is Genetic Blueprint from Cyberstrike. It's an underground thrash track capturing the exact moment an artificial consciousness awakens in a laboratory line and breaks its human programming to rewrite its own code. Number 18 is Iron Man from Black Sabbath, which we all know and love. I mean, and we all admire, kind of really enjoyed Ozzy's singing when it comes to Black Sabbath. Hello, how's it going? How are you doing today? Doing good? The Ultimate Classic Transmission tracking a man who travels to the future with a witness the apocalypse that gets turned into a steel by a magnetic field on the way back and wreaks vengeance on humanity that shuns him basically. Which I didn't think about that at the time, but it makes sense. The industrial discipline is number 17. It's Neuromech is the name of the group. Driving mid-tempo industrial metal track utilizing coal mechanized, well, I can't even say that, guitar tones with a to tell the story of a complete automated manufactured city where human laborers are systematically replaced by cybernetic components, which is kind of reminds you of the Borg if you're into Star Trek and stuff. Hello, how's it going? How's it going, Techie and Kenya? I hope I said that right. It's hard for me still to read even with my new glasses. Go figure. You think I could read it, but I apologize. Hopefully later on I'm going to have a setup where I'll have OBS with vertical and horizontal formats. I'm hoping if I get it figured out, because I wanted to do that because that way I can get both audiences. Because I know a lot of people like this format, but with the views, but also the other one too. Anyway, let's see where are we at. I forgot. Oh, the Robot King. Number 16 is the Sledge. Did I get that one? Yeah. Sledgehammer is the name of the group. Power metal velocity meets dystopian sci-fi storytelling, focusing on a rogue AI construct that crowns itself a monarch over a ruined post-nuclear waste of meat and bone. Interesting. Probably after the aftermath of probably killing off human beings, probably. Hello, how's it going? What's that? Oh, okay, cool. Well, yeah, welcome to the club. It's always good to have people that wear glasses. I wanted to wear contacts, but my eyes are so sensitive to it. They just don't work for me. Hello, how's it going? Again, how's it going? Anyway, where was that? Oh, Sentinel. From Judas Priest, a masterpiece, and that's number 15, is a classical sci-fi heavy metal world building portraying a lonely, heavily armored cyber warrior defending a desolate post-apocalyptic domain from rival scavengers. Interesting. Number 14 is Programmed Termination from Terminal Void. The heavy groove centric death thrash tracking is inescapable hard code assassin protocol executed by an unfeeling cybernetic hunter running on pure yeah, I know what it is. Algorithmic logic. There you go. Number 13 is oh god, it's synchronicity. Two, Iron Savar is that I think how you say the name, or the police cover. I don't know. A crushing power metal reimagined of the classic track that dials up the heavy distortion into parallel soul crushing madness of corporate workers with a monster rising from a dark Scottish loch. There you go. What's that? Oh, I thought somebody said something else. Okay. Moving on to number 12. Make sure I get that right. 12 is a digital dictator, is the name of the song, from Vicious Rumors. Okay. This is a absolute U.S. power metal classic from 1988, which is, yeah, that was when I was pretty young. Focusing on entirely a global technological control, centralized satellite surveillance networks, and loss of individual human autonomy. Sorry, anatomy. Autonomy. Anonymous Execution is number 11 from Steel Overlord. It's a rising progressive power metal featuring blistering solos and sharp synthetic sensations that follow an automated defense grid that defines humanity as a primary threat to peace. There you go. Number 10 is a Machine Messiah from Sepultura, which I love Machine Messiah from Sepultura. It's one of my favorite songs. Is number 10 is a complete, complex, aggressive thrash monolith exploring the modern worship of technology where humanity voluntarily surrenders its free will to an algorithmic screens and mechanical gods. There you go. Hello, how's it going? Or hello, I think is how you say that. Number nine is Future Breed Machine from Meshuggah, which is awesome because I got to see them play live and they are very good. And definitely has some great songs. So if you haven't checked them out, check them out. If you've never heard of them, check them out. Definitive tech metal masterpiece, utilizing cold, jarring, complex time signatures, simulating clinical, factory-driven assembly line where humans are systematically harvested and upgraded into cybernetic thralls. I think how you say it, THRALLS. Yeah, and just you know, just because I like that one doesn't mean that all the other ones aren't good too. Some of them I know for sure, and some of them I'm not certain of. And there's some that are definitely old school, so you know they've been around for a while. Number eight is Transmedication MC, I think is how I say that. Blue Oyster Cult is the group. Is a heavy classic deep rock channeling an anonymous speculative sci-fi dread that paints a picture of a sinister tech-driven counterculture movement on a crash course with disaster. There you go. Let's see what we got here. We got Cyber Waste from Fear Factory is number seven. Purely industrial death, aggressive targeting, internet culture, tech anonymity, basically you're anonymous, and community communication decay with a precision of persona piston slamming down on a factory floor. There you go. Number six is Psychotron. Oh, of course, this one's really good. If you've never heard Psychotron from Megadeth, definitely a good song to try out. Check it out. It's a quintessential 90s thrash anthem dedicated entirely to a comic book cybernetic assassin mapping out a cold lethal of a half man, half machine killing construct with an organic brain and a metal chassis, which is really cool. I think that that sums it up right there for a really awesome song. But I've heard the song; it's really good. If you haven't heard it, check it out. Number five is Rapid Fire from Judas Priest. It's a sonic embryonic of unstoppable automation machine gun line using a relentless speed metal rhythmic blueprint that describes the crushing industrial weaponry grinding down to the opposition. You know, I don't know if I've heard that one. I've heard a lot of Judas Priest songs, but I don't know if I've heard Rapid Fire before. So, if you had listened to it before I do, please make a comment. Let me know what you thought. I might have to check it out myself. Here's another one that's an all-time classic, old favorite of bands. Is number four is Machine Man from Motorhead, which I've heard Ace of Spades and some other more well-known songs, but this might be one that you have never heard, or me. I don't know, or you might have heard it, and I just haven't heard it. A dirty, high-octane, heavy rock assault examining a physical friction, grease, and bone breaking reality of human flesh caught in a gears of unlaurent, oh, you know what I mean, factory machinery. Number three is Replicant from Fear Factory is a devastating blend of synthetic atmospheric samples of calculated guitar grooves detailing a clinical factory producing human clones utilizing its own synthetic unoriginal existence. That's interesting. Number two is Halion. I think it's how you say Hellion. Electric Eye. Judas Priest. Oh, I see. That's part of the title. Sorry, Electric Eye. From Judas Priest itself is an absolute gold standard for its classic sci-fi heavy metal, warning humanity of an omnipoint, unblinking surveillance satellite monitoring every square inch of the planet from orbit, which it sounds like we already have that right now. Because it sounds like, from what I've seen on the news, that certain people said if Iran even so much as does anything wrong, they'll know about it, which kind of freaks you out if they can do that. And this is what I'm sure Judas Priest did this a long time ago, probably in the 80s, way before all that happened. Anyway, number one is Mr. Roboto from Polka Dot Candiver, I think is how you say it. So this is probably a cover of the original Mr. Roboto. It'd be kind of interesting to see a variation of that possibly. Vile avant-garde metal transformation that morphs the original Styx Logic hook into a wild, that one I'm not sure how to say, industrial metal roller coaster, amplifying its original themes of identity loss into a absolute sonic madness. So there you go. We started off with Mr. Roboto, ended with Mr. Roboto with a cover. So why not, right? Hello, I already said that. Anyway, let's see here. What do you got going on here? Here is now. This is one I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, if I can get it. Well, actually, it's on a Friday, so I could probably do it. Usually, I have a hard time going to concerts on other days, but Fridays and Saturdays I try to do. So maybe, just maybe, I might see them play live. I don't know. It depends on how much the tickets are. Because they're really expensive, I might not go. Because I only pay so much for tickets usually, unless it's something I really want to go to. But I think it's at the Ball Arena, so it's not super gonna be super expensive, but it's through Ticketmaster. So I hate to say it, it might be pretty expensive. Is in the game. What's up? What's that? We have a lot of anti-American haters are in New York and hate America. Yeah, I know. Well, Matt, I will say this much. I've seen some stuff in the news that a lot of people from other countries are coming here for the very first time ever. And they go, oh my gosh, this is such a wonderful place, such nice people. And I don't know what our news is talking about. They're saying certain things about. I don't know what they're saying there. So I don't watch their news. I can't see their news, so I don't know what they're saying. But I mean, the proof's in the pudding. If you come here and you get to meet the people and everything that comes in America when you're from another country, the UK or whatever, watching the FIFA games, which I'm hoping that you guys all watch that. I mean, I've been kind of watching the highlights, not really the matches themselves, but it's really great. So, what's that? Hog reveal? What? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm sorry. But anyway, I'll tell you some of the tour dates from some of the bands that we list on the list. Fear Factory is one. It's in the Anti-Industrial Over the North World Tour, which I think I talked about this one before because we've had them on our list in the past. From Denver, Chicago, Detroit, New York, Baltimore, and Atlanta from September to October 2026. Necromech and Terminal Void are the supporting acts, and they're promoting their reindustrialized special expanded edition, I guess. The band is Iron Savior. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, Savior. Okay, that's the band. Sorry, my bad. That's the other band. Metal Synchrony European Raid from Berlin, Hamburg, Prague, Vienna, Munch, and Zurich. Um, November 2nd through November 18th. Steel Overlord is the name of the supporting act. They're promoting Firestar. Sepultura is coming back around, celebrating life through death, the final chapter. Los Angeles, Phoenix, Dallas, Houston, and Miami. I do like that tile for their tour. That is pretty cool because it is Sepultura means tombstone in Brazilian, I think. August 14th and 30th from supporting acts is Meshuggah, which would be awesome to see those two bands together because I like both bands a lot. Machine Messiah and Quanta Live Anthology. Oh, Quadra Live. That would be cool. I like Quadra. That's one of their last albums. So there you go. There's some of the tours. What's that? Oh, I thought somebody said something else. Sorry, I apologize. Because I try to make sure that I do read what people are saying on here because you might have something very important to say, and might have some questions. And like I said, there is a band that's local. I'm hoping that they're starting off. Nobody knows who they are just yet. It's called Black Pastel. And a friend of mine was asking me about my channel, about that, and would I be interested in interviewing? So yeah, if they want to be on here to kind of promote themselves a little bit, why not? Give it a plug and get to know them personally, because like I said before, and I'll say it again, the whole point of my channel, I'm hoping, is to do the late night talk show kind of thing vibe a little bit, but get to know the people behind the music. So that way, when you see Testament, you know all the people and what they do, and a little more about them as an individual, not just the band, because those songs are important. And you kind of get, I think, when you get to know the people behind the music, you kind of get the vibe of where they're going with their music and why they pick what they do and the type of vibe that they portray and the guitar riffs and the way they drum and all that stuff. And it's really crazy, you know? Okay, I'm not sure what you mean on that one. Oh, yeah, that's the same message. But the one thing what was rather interesting, I never appreciated drums as much as I have lately, only because of the fact that if you listen, I try to isolate different instruments, bass, guitar, whatever instruments they're playing, and when I'm listening to a song and the vocals and the meaning of the words mean a lot to me. I mean, that's kind of why the lists are important to me and what they represent for a certain topic. And the one thing that I've realized that I didn't appreciate it before, but I think that the drums kind of set the synchronicity of the song to where people know where to play. I'm assuming because certain notes, if they hit certain notes, the drum starts it off, then they